Hey, everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Tonight is Tuesday, June 10th. We are second week into Pride Month in New York. We have two amazing guests tonight. We have Ruby Rims. If you don't know who Ruby Rims is, you're definitely not gay, but you're going to know by the end of the show. And the amazing and sweet and talented and my friend, both of them are my great friends, Chauncey Dandridge. So hit that promo, Leo.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am.
Wow. Oh, what's the story with Maria? Look at that wonderful little logo you made, Leo. Thank you for everything you do. Leo is our right-hand man. He runs the whole operation. Let's say hi to our first in, as per usual, Danielle Alexandria Alchemy. Danielle is a spiritual medium, a guide, a healer, past life regressionist. She talks to the other side, mind-blowing stuff. If you want to contact Danielle, and I think you should, it's life-changing, not just saying that, it really is. You go to Danielle Alexandria Alchemy.com, and she has several different, she does spirit animal readings, but she has several different services, and you can just order right there and then work it out with Danielle. She's amazing. Lori Towers, our friend, incredible friend, and publicist, DJ, music historian, journalist, all kinds of things, publicist, and now jewelry maker. Lori and John dropped off two beautiful pieces yesterday. I was working at Stonewall, and I couldn't. We just kept missing each other. Look at these. I'm crazy about this piece. So this is the Pride series, I think. Type in what you're calling this, Lori. So this one's for my girlfriend. It's a circle. And there's the gold. And this one's mine. I'm a silver person. And look at how cool that is. I'm going to wear it on Pride. But I may wear it before Pride. But I was thinking of maybe I'll christen it on Sunday, Gay Pride Day. I'm going to be working. Judy and I, actually, my girlfriend, are going to be working the door, 7th Avenue door at Stonewall. So that's going to be so exciting. So come if you're in the neighborhood watching the parade, stop by. We're going to be there from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's going to be really fun. So Leo, why don't you join me, honey bunny? Let me see. I can never get here fast enough. Hello, family. That's Lori. John says, wow, Ruby. I know. And hey there, Maria and Sir Leo. Now, John Pietera, when I told John that Ruby was going to be on, he was so excited. And John is our straight friend. But you see, Ruby is such a legend that the cool kids, straight or gay, love Ruby. So our eccentric, yes, Lori, I love this. I'm going to show them one more time. These are the pieces that Lori dropped off yesterday. How cool are these? So if you want to get one of Lori's pieces, Leo, can you put that up? Let's put up Lori's, we'll put up in a minute. I know Leo's got a lot of stuff, Lori's website. But in the meantime, if you want to listen to Lori and John, they're on WFMU.com. And they have a weekly radio show, Wednesdays, 10 p.m. John Pietera and Lori Towers, Beneath the Underground, Sheena's Jungle Room at WFMU.org.
And don't miss out, or they'll send a search party for you.
Oh my God, I know. And then the one Wednesday a month is just eccentric behavior, right?
Yep, eccentric behavior where all the rockin' women like Maria Gentili
well,
get played.
I love that. You guys are so sweet to play my music. Thank you so much. But it's just a really cute
Portis gets
program.
played too.
I know, but she deserves it.
With her co-writer, what's his name again? What's his name?
Chauncey Dandridge.
That's the guy.
Yeah. He was playing a new song they wrote the other day. I love it. I love all their songs. So Chauncey's going to be joining us in a little while. First, we'll have Ruby on, and then Chauncey's going to join us, and then they're both going to stay on. You know, if you don't know, and it's okay if you don't know, but it is. Oh, speaking of Lynn Porter's genius, Lori's jewelry is outstanding. Oh my God, I agree. I totally agree. And this new series is to die. Rena Cugnali Berge, my cousin from Massachusetts. Hello and happy Tuesday, beautiful people. Same to you, my beautiful cousin. I hope to see you soon. I'm going to come home, I think, in July.
Hi, weather girl.
Anyway, please go to, what's the website for Lori again? To find
LoriTowers.net. Axe the oligarchy. It was actually scrolling underneath as you were talking about.
Good. Go and get yourself a beautiful piece of jewelry. It's so original and fabulous and empowering. I love it. So I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday. I had at the Gay Community Center, we had our kids show. We had our teenagers. Yeah, they were great.
I saw your pictures with camp.
I know. Teenagers are always challenging.
Oh,
but
tell
they
me
were
about
great.
it.
I know, and you just started camp this week.
I just started camp. I got 8 weeks of it going forward. Woo!
Wow. Leo, you're like a superhero with those kids.
I've got the most signups per week that I have gotten in the 5 years that I've been doing this. This is our 5th year. So, yep, wow. I had to actually cut it off today because I just want to make sure that my staff they're well. It's easy to put a lot of people, like in a restaurant. You can slam the restaurant, but if you only got 2 servers, what's going to happen? Right.
You're absolutely right. Then the quality of the work goes downhill. I know.
And since I'm the king around here, well, not really, but I just handle it so I can protect my staff and then make sure the kids all have a good time because there's enough staff per children. And I've got 5 to 14. So it's not just like one group.
Oh,
I've got
wow.
5 6-year-olds, 7 through 9-year-olds, and then my group is the 10 through 13-year-olds. And that's how we group them out. So we've got a lot of
smart.
And personalities.
I know. Don't I know? And my kids that right now we're working with, they're older. They're like maybe 15 to 20. But yesterday was great. It was our last show of the year. Sadly, but usually we have a summer program as well. But thanks to who, the grant got cut, so we have no summer program. But hopefully my bosses, who are amazing, are trying to raise money for the fall. So we start off with 8 schools. Now I work for an incredible company called Road Recovery. We go into underserved communities and we work with kids after school programs under the grant of combating opioid addiction to prevent it. And thank you to the last administration. They were very generous in giving us lots of grants. So we were able to be in 8 locations. Because of the changes, we're now only in 2 locations, and they cut the summer programs. So all I'm going to say, if you're listening out there and you don't think this stuff is really affecting people, it is. It really is. And you know what? As a person that's my job, sure, it affects me financially, but it affects the kids more. And I can always pick up a shift or go back to Ubering or make money in other ways or make more sauce. But these kids, their summers, they usually all 8 locations that have summer programs. It's a lot to think about. But I don't want to.
These kids are coming from a place where they don't get accepted. They don't get the rewards or the love that a lot of families now have in these ages. And so, in order to fill that hole, they're filling it with art and with love. Rather than with drugs. It's so important. And I remember being at that age, not being able to come out and as I mentioned earlier, seeing we're going to see a Miss Ruby Rims in my little town in East LA and saying, there's hope. There's hope for 17-year-olds.
Yeah, that's only one of the schools is the center, but a lot of the schools are in the Bronx or in Brooklyn. They're just kids that need something to do during the summer.
They need it.
But I do want to put this out there, and you'll agree with me that theater for me as a kid saved my life. I went to summer camps every summer, and that's where I found friends, and that's where I found my voice literally, and the arts saved me, and the arts are still saving me at 63. So shout out to the arts and anyone involved in them. Ned Zito has joined us. Hey guys, watching from cruise in Alaska.
What?
Girl! really is some. Did you bring little Shugs with you? I wonder if she brought her dog. I love her dog. Lori Towers, speak out, show and protect each other. Yes. Listen, all we
Yes.
can do is watch out for each other. I do believe, as bad as things are, I do believe that good will prevail. I do. My heart tells me that. And just keep doing what you're doing, teachers, educators, parents, kids. Just hang in there. It's going to be a little bit of a rough ride, but let's take care of each other.
And
Now,
anyone that disagrees, if we had the humanities really emphasized in all those schools, empathy would not be a problem nowadays.
what you call woke is literally empathy.
Yeah, being a
So,
human being. Oh,
right.
humanities.
I know. Well, even the Pope said it, the new Pope, who I actually like, said the same thing. If woke, woke is a good thing. But anyway, listen, before all this was happening, there were people that set the way for those of us, paved the way for those of us that came. I was right on the heels of it. I mean, right behind. And I remember living in Massachusetts and hearing about a Miss Ruby Rims.
Can we show the Donahue?
Yes, do it.
This is the what I mentioned
Remember-
earlier about seeing that clip back when I was 17 years old. This is what I saw. This is what gave me hope. And thank you, Ruby.
From the duplex in New York's Greenwich Village, I am pleased to present,
The duplex.
I want to say Miss Ruby Rims. Here you are, Ruby. Watch it, your mic there, darling. Just, we don't want a different show than the one we planned.
A lot of powder, a lot of paint, a lot of pretending something I ain't. I can't conceal it, I gotta reveal it. I'm just a drag queen. I walk the streets most every night. Here on Donahue, they treat me right. I have to fess up, I like to dress up. I'm just a drag queen.
Ruby, that was 1987. I love it. Ruby, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the legend, the icon, and my friend who I love so much, Miss Ruby Rims. Ruby, I'm so glad you're here. I told you before the show started, I wish I could just jump through the screen and give you a hug. You're a lovely human being.
I have my moments.
I'm sure you do, but I don't see them. So now, Ruby, that was 1987. So
Yes.
I didn't move to the city till 1990. But I got to tell you a quick story. There was a guy that worked at a dinner theater where I started out, and he was from New York, and he would come to Massachusetts every weekend to perform, and all he did was talk about you and how amazing you were. So I didn't know you, but I knew of you before I even came to New York. And I think you were doing like a Liz Estrada or something show at the Actors Playhouse or something back then. This was in the 80s. So how did someone like a Donahue find out about you?
One of Phil Donahue's producers, Marlene Seelip, used to come into the duplex.
Okay.
And she's at a table with another woman who works with Donahue, Carol Story. And they would watch, Timmy Moore would be playing and the different people. And I always would get up, and do a number. I did a little Betty Davis, a Carol Channing. And after I finished, Marlene came up to me and said, "You're Ruby Rims." I said, "Yes." She said, he said, "I'm Marlene Seelip." I said, "Yes, I know who you are. You're the producer of Phil Donahue." She said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, if you ever have drag queens on again, you let me know."
Wow.
2 days later, I get a phone call at the duplex, and Rick Panson picked it up and said, "Ruby, call this number. Marlene Seelip wants to have you on Phil Donahue show."
Wow. And Rick Panson was the owner of the duplex back then.
Back then, yep. And they bought it from Robin Earth.
Wow. And we didn't have cell phones then. It wasn't like you had to, or even emails. So if you wanted to find someone, you had to find them at work. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So Ruby, you said that was just one of the times you were on the Phil Donahue show. How many times?
3.
3.
I was also on Geraldo Rivera
Really?
and Magazine and Midday Live with Bill Boggs. That was before Felonio.
Wow.
That
So
was
now, may I just say, I mean, you've done a million shows. You're just everybody knows you. Everybody who's in the village knows you and has known you forever. One of the things people may not know about you is how much um, money you have raised for organizations. You did something called Teddy Care for years for Christmas, and every year Ruby would do this Teddy Cares and raise. You could bring a teddy bear, or you could donate, or you could do both. Both. Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Both. And I went to a few of them, and there were some of them were at Judy's, or Helen's. I'm sorry, Helen's, Judy's. They were a lot of different places. You had them.
They started in '88.
Okay. Yes, I love my favorite club of all time, 88.
They started in '88. Then they went to Judy's.
Right.
And then they went to Jetson.
Oh, Jetson. Right. That's the one I did with you.
You did it, Jetson.
Yeah, that's the one, Jetson. And Karen Mason was there too.
Yeah. Every cabaret artist under the sun.
Yeah.
And we did two shows. We used to do, in the early days, we did 2 shows a night. Every Friday night. We would do it on Friday nights. And in the beginning, we did it on Sundays. But then we went to Judy's and we did it Friday nights. And we would do, the old days, we would do 2 shows a night. So I'd do 8 shows in a month.
Wow.
I would do it, like an 8 and a 11.
Yeah. Now, Ruby, you showed me before we started. There's a brand new book out that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Can we show that book, please?
You want me to show it?
You show it, honey. Yeah. Okay. So tell us about this.
This is, it's called Legends of Drag Queens of a Certain Age.
I love it. I love it.
We're not old, darling. We're seasoned. A little oregano, a little paprika,
Yeah.
And these 2 lovely boys.
You told me their names Harvey Hansen and Devin Antheus.
Yes, and they put this book together. Drag queens to kind of help pave the way, and the book starts. It's a big coffee table book.
I love it.
San Francisco, and it ends up in New York. And
oh my God! Look, there she is in all her glory.
There she is, world. There's Rose.
Oh my God, I love it, Ruby.
And it's a beautiful book. And they've been having us do shows. The first show we did in New York, we did a show at the AIDS Memorial Park.
Okay.
And then last year, it's in honor of the AIDS Memorial and Pride. And then last year, I performed at the Whitney Museum.
Wow. That's a cool place.
You kind of did a little something when you're at God knows I'm a relic. But I went to the Whitney Museum with like 5 of the other drag queens are in the book.
Yeah.
And then this coming Saturday at 6:00 at the little church in the village, which is right down the street from the AIDS Memorial, and across the street from St. Vincent's. And people don't know why it's there. The AIDS Memorial is there. It's because it's across the street from where St. Vincent's, where so many guys died.
Right. Now, I moved to the city in 1990, Ruby, and I don't have to tell you, but literally people that we knew were dying every day. And you're right. It was right there at St. Vincent's that we would go and visit people.
Yeah.
And it would be the last time you would see someone. And it was like not a new thing because it started in the late 80s, but you're right. That's why the memorial is right there.
And I would go in with part of the things with the teddy bears is in the 25 years that I did teddy cares, all the bears I delivered in a big silly bear outfit.
Wow.
I brought them into the rooms, and originally I started with kids, but then I realized the kids got a whole lot, and the people with AIDS weren't getting, you know what?
Yeah.
They were getting nothing. And so I decided I was going to go into the AIDS wards and pass out teddy bears.
Wow.
I went into the room and to some of the rooms, and the boys looked and they're going, at Ruby Grams. Yeah, it's the bear, and and some of those boys died with those bears in their arms.
Oh, Jesus, I know.
And there was a drag queen that I worked with. Actually, she was actually a trans person, Candy Stevens.
Mm.
I walked in the room, and I didn't know Candy was in the room. And I walked in the room, and I looked, and I knew it was Candy. And Candy looked at me and said, "Ruby Rims just walked in my room. I can die now." And I gave her the baby.
Oh
And
my God.
a couple of days later, she did.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that it's intense. I mean, I know that you were doing that, and and what people don't necessarily know, some people do, but a lot of people don't know is that a lot of these poor boys in the beginning that were diagnosed with AIDS, and people were afraid to visit them, or their families just abandoned them.
some of the aides they worked in the hospital would not go into the rooms. They would leave the food outside the door.
Right,
Boys couldn't get out of bed and have them starved.
right,
And a lot of the parents came a lot of parents came to visit them, and they didn't know why they were in the hospital, and found out not only did their sons have AIDS, but they also were gay.
right. It was like
And it was and therefore the grace of whoever the powers that be go I.
mm-hmm.
Because this past May 28th was 33 years I was diagnosed.
Wow. You're a survivor, Ruby. When
Maria Gaynor has nothing on me, darling.
I love it. I love it. And you look great. You're super healthy. I mean, every time I see you on the street, sometimes we run into each other. You always look wonderful. So anyway, I'm so glad you're here, Ruby. Now you're doing something this weekend, you said. Okay, and tell us again what that is that you're doing.
That what you have posted right there is not this weekend.
Okay, what is this? The 20th?
What posted is the Legends of Drag, which I was telling you about, the book.
Yeah. Okay.
6 of us and 3 of the boys from Red Ribbon Review, which I was also a part of, are going to be performing at the little church in the village, 6 o'clock. It's $25. You can go to Legends of Drag.
Oh, there it is. Okay, yeah.
And if you're on Facebook, go to my page, and the whole thing is there, where you can get tickets for $25. Or I think you can probably just show up.
I love
but
that.
But we buy tickets because we kind of gives them how many people are coming. And the boys from Red Ribbon Review, Sam Bull and Brian Muppet, started about 5-6 years ago, started a thing for Worldwide AIDS Day, which is on December 1st. And they put together a bunch of performers who all had HIV, AIDS, and all the music that we did were written by people who either died from AIDS or were living with AIDS.
Wow! Oh my God!
And it was wonderful. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Red Ribbon Review.
What's it called?
The Red Ribbon Review.
The Red Ribbon Review. I'm definitely going to go and watch that. The Red. Wow, that is really intense.
And some lovely people were on it. So they're doing that as well. So it's because it's in honor of the AIDS Memorial.
Wow.
And so that, and then June the 22nd, which Leo had just posted on the board.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool.
The Chauncey Reformed Church, which is where Barbarino goes to.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we know Scott very well.
And they are doing the blessings. You know how they have the blessings of the animals and all the different blessings. Yeah. Churches. Well, they're doing the blessing of the drag queens.
Oh my God, I love it.
And,
that is fantastic.
So, so anyway, they're doing that, and I'm singing for that, a couple songs.
Cool. That's
um,
great.
and at the end on Pride Day, I will be singing where I usually do at Judson Memorial Church, where I go to church.
Yeah, that I
For
know.
the
I know that you go there.
years, I'm actually going to be in the parade.
Okay, that's
I'm going to
great.
be sitting in a car, not walking.
No, no, I know. I mean, I've been in the parade. I've walked the parade many times,
For that.
and I've also been ridden with the motorcycles many times. I love that. But this year, I'm going to be working the door on the 7th Avenue site with my girlfriend Judy. We're gonna at Stonewall. So if you're around, stop and say hi. Now, let me just read some of the comments, Ruby. Everybody's so excited you're here. J.C. Smith says hundreds of thousands of people all across the United States talking about, is anyone going to participate in No King's Day in this Saturday? He wants to know. And I think a lot of people are going to be participating in that. John Pietera says, this is the moment. Do you recall singing that with me on the piano? Do you know what year that was? Because
Who is that?
John Pietero, he is a journalist and radio personality, great guy. John, what year was that? Do you remember? And Lisa Bernstein says, so wonderful to see you.
Hi, Lisa.
And, right, Lisa's great. And the late 80s, 90s, what a time, she said. Yeah, what a time it was. And if you were in the city, you get, when you think of that time, I mean, I know I feel like this. You literally have to, it takes your breath away because it was, the only time that reminded me of it was COVID, because we were all, there was this fear of the unknown and you didn't know who was going to make it and who wasn't. And that's what it was like from my point of view.
Maria, from the day one, people are always afraid of what they don't know.
Yeah.
And unless you educate them,
right,
like what you're doing as part of this,
mm-hmm.
need to make people, that's why I did the Phil Donahue shows and never got a dime for it.
Yeah.
But, you have to teach people so that they're not afraid. The worst thing people are afraid of is dying.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they don't really know. The Bible can tell you one thing and people can tell you another thing, but the truth is you don't really know. Nobody ever sends you a postcard saying, have a good time, wish you were here.
Ruby, you're so right.
So it's like, it's like, but I reached a point in my life where, I fought to stay alive. And I had a fight my whole life. I had a fight because of a little fat white gay boy in Newark, New Jersey. I had a fight because of being a drag queen. I had a fight because I was fag bashed in the hospital for 5 days. And I had a fight because I had AIDS.
Wow.
You know what? Honey, bring it.
Yeah.
But you reach a point where you finally say, when it's my time, I reached a point where when it's my time to go, it's okay.
Well, because you've lived a wonderful life and because you're okay with who you are. See, people are afraid to die when they're not okay with who they are or they haven't completed what they wanted to complete. You have lived a very solid, amazing life, a creative life, but you're also a very good person, Ruby. You're a really good person.
I had a T-shirt on yesterday. I want to grab it because I want to show it to you.
Yeah, go ahead and get it. Go ahead. So Ruby's getting that. We'll
don't have it here, but anyway.
We'll remind everybody that we're here every Tuesday night from 9 to 10. And if you can watch us in reruns. When God made me, what does it say? When
God made me, and Brendan said, "This will be fun."
Oh, I love it. I love that. And he would be right.
And another one I've been getting all these lovely shirts. I don't want to plug them, but I've been getting all these lovely shirts from Temu. And
yeah, listen.
And the one I had on Sunday was I was made to be God made me to be myself.
Yeah, I love that.
And there's one thing I can always say. No one can say when I die that I wasn't me. You know,
that's
started
100%
doing
true.
drag when I started doing drag in 19. um, I started doing drag in 1980 and 1973.
Wow, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
That's phenomenal.
I was 20 years old. Do the math. This year I'll be 70.
Yeah. Wow. That is
And,
incredible.
and
And
all the
did you
drag
come
queens.
straight to New York and do
What's-
that?
I did it in the first club I ever performed at was in Newark, New Jersey, where I
Really?
grew up, where I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. And I went to the owners one night. I was going to the club and I said, I want to get dressed up and maybe do 2 songs on Saturday night and lip sync.
Mm.
And they said, okay, Ruby, So I did, and that was that. Um, and but other queens started coming in, and most of them were dressed as impressionists.
Right.
Barbara Streisand, they did Barbara Streisand, they did Diana Ross, they did the stars.
Right.
Who the hell was it going to look like except Mama Cass? And I mean, even then it didn't work. So I was the comic relief,
Right.
and I was myself. And in those days I lip sang.
Is that
Um,
you, Ruby? Is that
that's
you?
me and Karen Miller.
Oh my God. What year do you think that was?
I know exactly what year that was. It was
Tell me.
1980. It was 1980.
Wow. I graduated from high school.
1980 because I had to tell you it was after September of 1980 or possibly early 1981 because I had played Provincetown, and that year the Rose came out and I wanted to do the Bette Midler thing with the Rose. So
Yes.
I dyed my hair blonde. Um,
I remember that year very well.
Yeah. But
Yep.
they all wanted to be look like, and I was always me, and I lip sang in those days.
That is absolutely true. You were always you. And that's what I think people loved about you. I mean, impressionists are great, don't get me wrong, but you really like many reasons you were a trailblazer, but you really did you were Ruby Rims, and
Right.
the act was Ruby Rims. So,
Right.
and that was the original thing about you. You
Yeah,
didn't try to be anyone else.
and then I started working at the Anvil in 1977.
Wow.
And I lip sang when I started the Anvil, and all through the Anvil, the years I was at the Anvil, I lip sang.
Yeah.
But the Christmas Eve of 1977, I got on stage and did my second set. I did 2 sets, one at 3 and 5:30 in the morning, and I did my second set.
1, 3, and 5:30 in the morning. Think about that.
One at 3 and one at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
And I did my second set at 5:30, and I lip sang my 2 songs, and of course they're yelling more, 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 more. So I grabbed hold of the microphone, which I never did. And I said, "You really want another song?" And they went, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I said, "Okay, I need everybody to get very quiet." And I sang a cappella, which is a musical term for we can't afford a band. I sang a cappella, "Oh Holy Night,"
Wow.
which I had sang when I was a kid in church. And they were kind of, holy, the bitch can sing. So I finished, they went nuts, and half of them were sitting there with their mouth wide open so they could have caught 1,000 flies.
That's not an easy song at all. I
And
wouldn't even try it.
I went off stage and I started walking to the dressing room, and someone grabbed a hold of my arm. And the man that grabbed a hold of my arm was a gentleman by the name of John Healy. And John Healy before Robin Irv, owned the Duplex.
Wow.
And he said to me, "Why are you lip syncing?"
Really?
And I said, "Well, it's what I do." He says, "Before this next year's over, you're going to do a live show at the Duplex."
Wow.
And the gentleman standing next to him said, "And I'll play for you." And that was Richard Burke.
Oh, that's what a great story.
Yeah, and that's how it started.
John Pitera just wrote, "Is that all there is?" was your showstopper.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that all there is? Oh my God. Well, Ruby, I don't want you to go anywhere. We're just going to bring in our friend Chauncey Dandridge,
Right?
but you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to stay.
No, no.
Chauncey's going to join us. You would love each other. I'm surprised you haven't. You probably have met.
Wait a
But
minute.
Chauncey is the
Hi,
DJ. Hi.
Hello.
Chauncey is an amazing DJ at and sound and light designer at Stonewall, but he's also like such an activist and does so many great things. And like you, Ruby, he is constantly raising money for great causes. So Chauncey, you know I love you. I just saw you last night.
Yeah.
And now today you had a very busy day, right?
Well, what's really cool is I grew up in Harrison, right near Newark, so we were neighbors.
There's something in the water out there, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
That's
Buddy,
so
three guys.
Yeah.
3 guys from Harrison.
Oh wow. That's
wow.
awesome. Yeah.
So last night we saw each other, Chauncey. You're constantly doing stuff at Stonewall. You produce so many different shows there, and but you went to. This was the original reason I wanted to have you on this week because you've been on the show a lot.
Yeah.
You went to DC Pride. You went to World
Yes.
Pride. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
I volunteered with the Gilbert Baker Foundation. Gilbert Baker is the original designer of the rainbow flag, for anybody who doesn't know. And my friend Kathy is on the board there, and she invited a bunch of. I'm in this whole group text of all these activist idols of mine,
Yeah.
and she asked all of us if anybody was interested. And we went. Me and my friend Stevie went down for the day, and we got to marshal.
There's the flag.
Yeah, the DC Gay Men's Chorus carried almost a mile long of Gilbert Baker's original flags.
Oh my God.
And we kicked off the parade, and we just had to protect them on the way down. So it was wild. Like it was like a religious experience because it was so hot and it was such a long parade route, but like you just had to do it. And it was like kind of like a
Yep.
pilgrimage in a way. So,
Yep, absolutely.
and
That's-
it was really amazing. The look on people's faces when they saw how big the flag was. Like it literally was like one of the pieces was like 700 feet long. So
Oh my God. And now, were you met with any resistance at all? Because I was worried about you guys.
I actually was like, I think I was more people were worried about me than we were, and like it was actually really quiet.
Oh, good.
That might have
Okay.
been like. Also, I don't feel like there were as many people there that would have been there.
Yeah, because they were afraid to go this
Yeah.
year.
Because like New York World Pride in 2019 was like 5 million people or whatever.
Yeah.
But they had, World Pride had like the whole week of events. So
Right.
it could be that people were like picking and choosing what to do.
Yeah.
And I know this was on Saturday, but I know on Sunday was like the more political rally. So maybe that
Okay.
was a little busier, and like they had concerts. There was stuff going on in all around DC. So it was really
Yeah,
really-
I like DC. I mean, I've been there a few times. I've always enjoyed it, but one of the times I went was the Women's March in 2017.
So I was there too.
Were you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went with a couple of my friends. It was really like an important event, and it
That was really powerful that day.
yeah, it was really powerful. Now today, tonight you're going to be on.
It's actually not. It's not showing till Monday, so don't. You know.
Okay, so Monday night, if we're watching what, we will see you.
If you're watching Bravo, watch What Happens Live. You might see me on TV.
Okay. And you're representing the Stonewall, right?
Yeah.
I love. Well, I looks like I have my Stonewall shirt on, but I don't. It's a shirt called "Gay and Tired."
Yeah.
Because there it is. Because this month, people don't know, is the most exhausting month to be gay because you literally have to be out there constantly. It's Pride Month, so we're all. You have your Lori. You have your Lori.
I have my Lori Towers.
Oh my God! Look at the one for me and Judy. Look at, aren't these great? Oh, I love that, Chauncey. You're such a good model. You're always wearing something. That's really.
I got. I'm also wearing my freedom rings for. It's my favorite thing about being gay. When we were in the 90s, I grew up in the 90s. I came out in the 90s.
The 90s were a great time.
And we this is what we wore to tell each other we were gay.
Absolutely, the freedom ring.
This is the updated version with the trans colors on it, which is kind of cool.
I love that. That's really cool. And so you always do the AIDS walk too, right, Sean?
Yeah, well, actually, I was just going to bring that up. This is from I just became a sister of perpetual indulgence.
Oh.
So I'm a novice, and this is what we We have a big jar of glitter. The nuns that I'm a part of, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I love it.
We empty our little vial of glitter in the big vial when we get to our meetings, and then at the end of the meeting we scoop it back up and refill it, so we have a little bit of everybody's glitter.
I love that. That's phenomenal. Lori Tower says, I love my Chauncey. We love you too, Lori. And John says he was talking about, is that all there is at the Rivington House? Ruby, does that ring a bell?
Rivington House? Yeah.
Yeah. So John knows. Yeah.
The sound of disgust, or the sound of
like, oh, I remember that place. Oh my God. Yeah. You know, there was so many things different in the 80s and 90s. Like
the Rivington House later on became it's at the end of Christopher Street.
Yeah. So
really?
It was in pieces, was it? Or was it all on the other side of Christopher?
The Rivington House was originally
like down by the water?
Down by the water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. John might remember. John might know what it became.
Yeah, I never heard of Rivington House.
It was a bar and a hotel.
Interesting.
And then they turned the hotel into an AIDS hospice.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Carol Montgomery says, I love happening onto the sound of your lovely voice, Maria Gentili. Well, I am a huge fan of yours, Carolyn, as a singer and as a human being. I love you. And we're so glad you're here. Now, and there's Leo. Now, the last time I saw both of you, I think, Ruby, we have a great picture from the MAC Awards. You were there this year. Mm-hmm. And Carolyn's always there. Carolyn has won many. I think her show, Girl Singer, the Rosemary Clooney show, won this year for Best Tribute Show. So that was great. And Ruby, you always get dolled up for the MAC Awards. I love that about you.
Well, they asked me to come and present,
Yeah.
I have about 7 of them.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. You deserve it.
And the last one was the Life Achievement Award. So, but yeah, they asked me to come back, and I think, is it next year or in 2 years? And the next year or I think it's next year will be the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, you're right, because this was 39, so it'll be the 40th anniversary. That'll be really cool.
It'll be the 40th anniversary. And the only thing was McKnight.
Okay. Yeah, Sharon McKnight. Sharon McKnight was here this year. Is that who you're talking? Now, John Patera says the Bailey House on Christopher Street started as the Travelers Hotel.
Oh, so Bailey House. Okay, yeah.
The Bailey House. I remember because
the Bailey House.
Which I know exactly where that is. It's right on the corner of the West Side Highway. Because I had a friend who lived there.
That's close to where the Heritage of Pride has their offices now.
Yeah, but
I love that.
It was I'm sure it was the Rivington House, because that's.
Yeah, but it'll all come back as we're talking now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We're going to take a quick break for our food section of our show. And Ruby, the first time Ruby was on the show, it was in my apartment, so I did cook for us. Now it's on StreamYard, but I still cook. But you're both invited any friggin' time you want to come over.
I can't believe I've heard so much about you, Ruby. I can't believe I haven't met you yet.
You guys would be like lifetime friends. You're both.
Whenever I stop in the Stonewall, it's always downstairs because I have a little hard time with the stairs now.
Yeah.
So, but I will come down one day. And
well, next time you're there, you tell the bartender.
Follow my way to the top.
Or just tell the bartender, if Chauncey's here, tell him to come downstairs.
Okay.
But Chauncey, don't you DJ downstairs sometimes?
Yeah, on Sunday afternoons. Yeah.
Sunday afternoons, Ruby. You can go.
Okay.
What do you
Doesn't Stonewall have a Ruby Rims elevator yet?
They're working
use my
on
telekinetic powers like.
Don't you know who I think I am?
So Leo, stay for the food section of our show. So this section.
Oh, that's why I'm here.
I love it. Carolyn says, I remember the Bailey House. Yep. Me too. Okay, so this section of our show is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and everybody's going to say it. 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead.
Keep eating. So what did I make tonight? Tonight, since I'm off the keto, which I'll have to go back on soon because I already can't fit into my clothes. But
Oh,
anyway, so I made pasta because I don't usually have this on keto. So it's linguine with clam sauce. Look at that. I made chopped clams, butter. I always use the Kerrygold. It's my favorite. Butter, parsley, garlic, onions, white wine, crushed red peppers, and basil. And I cooked, and white wine. And I cooked that up and I threw the pasta right in the pan. It's so good. So that's going to happen there. Then for a salad, I have romaine lettuce, San Marzano tomatoes, Bermuda onion, hothouse cucumbers, and avocado, and cilantro. Chopped up some cilantro. I'm going to put a cilantro infused olive oil from New England Olive Oil Company and a balsamic, just plain balsamic vinegar for that. And now this is my piece de resistance because it is a gay show, the gayest cupcake that I could find. This is a unicorn colored buttercream cupcake, and I'm going to eat the whole damn thing.
Where did you find that?
I found it in Jersey, boys. I found it at the Acme supermarket in Edgewater, New Jersey. And I said, oh my God, that is the gayest cupcake I've ever seen in my life. It looks like a drag queen wig. I mean, come on.
My friend and minister, Micah Busey, has a thing for unicorns, and but he wouldn't be able to eat it because he's vegan.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is a great vegan bakery in Inglewood that our friend Carlos Acosta's brother owns, and it's called Vegan Pastry Lab. And it's in Jersey, and it's delicious. But no, I don't know if you'll have this. And Carolyn goes, that is one queer cupcake. Absolutely, 100%. That is the gayest cupcake I've ever seen in my life. So, Jesus. Now, Ruby, you're going to be in the parade this time. What are you going to be? What car are you going to be in?
I'm going to be with the Episcopal Actors Guild.
Oh, I love that.
Another organization that has been helping me throughout the years. And so they asked if I would run and be with them in the parade. I said, honey, I'm a little too seasoned to be seasoned to be walking that parade. The first parade, we didn't call it a parade. We called it a march.
Right.
And the first one I was on a float. Now I am afloat. I was on a float with my friend Jackie Nicole and a couple of drag queens that performed at the Bell in Hackensack. Wow. And it was in 1976.
Wow. That is phenomenal. Ruby, you
have
seen some stuff.
It started in the Village and it went uptown.
It started in the Village. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now it starts down and goes down.
All the Christopher Street and all the Village people, Village ambassadors and stores got together and said, why are you doing it in Central Park? Make them end in the Village and then we get the business.
Yes, absolutely.
And they also created the, then they had, they started the, a show down on Christopher Street, in between the infirmary and Greenwich, and
yes,
they had set up big stages and
down by the pier.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
Not the comedian. The AIDS activist, the gay rights activist Eddie Murphy put that all together. The Christopher Street Festival.
Wow, I remember, and we used to just go down there. There was all kinds of food trucks and vendors, and that was really fun. I used to go there in the early '90s.
Booths set up, and then they ended up at Badlands.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a different time. I really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed Pride in all its different forms and doing different things. I think it's important whatever you are, whatever you identify as, and a lot of our straight friends are such allies of ours, and thank you to all our straight friends that are out there that are in our corner so much. Come down and enjoy Pride and the whole week. There's so much to do. It's just like a really joyful time. But we're in hard times right now. We're in scary times, but don't let that dull your light. Celebrate it anyway. I don't know, Ruby, maybe he pushed something. Maybe he'll zoom back in.
He's like, I'm over it.
So I think he might have hit something. So Chauncey, what do you got going on this week? You got a lot going. I mean, right?
This week a bunch of random things. We just started a new drag competition, like a reboot of what it used to go on at Stonewall. But it's at G Lounge now on Wednesday nights, called Polish the Queen. But we have my big freak out marathon on the 30th, the day after Pride.
I'm gonna work that. I can't wait.
Yeah, if you and I are still alive, on
If
the day
we
after
make
Pride,
it through Pride, we'll be there. Don't worry.
but I'm also, yeah, that's 6. We're gonna open the doors at 7 at Stonewall upstairs. Tons of amazing queer talent, musicians, comedians, performance artists, all that kind of stuff. I'm actually marching in the parade this year as a sister.
Really?
Yeah, which is terrifying because day drag, hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be
makeup,
rough.
all that kind of stuff. It'll be because we welcomed people at the finish line at the AIDS Walk this year, and it was like it was a lesson in day drag. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I grew up with the nuns living in San Francisco. I know a lot of them. They produced actually Corpus Christi was a play by Terrence McNally that got banned, and I was in that play, and they had sponsored it. And we were well with the sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. I know a lot of them, and from what I remember is a lot of them didn't wear their holy garments during parades under their robes. So there's just a little note from the Sisters I learned from.
Wow, good to know. I didn't.
We let the rosary hang.
The New York chapter doesn't follow all the rules, so we're the NYC disorder of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Now, Lynn Portis joined us, and I want to remind everybody that Chauncey and Lynn Portis have written. How many songs have you written now? 3?
Like 100 at this point.
I mean, they are such an incredible songwriting team, and you're on Spotify, right?
Yeah, if you just type in Lynn Portis, you'll find all our songs because some of them like she's singing the vocals. We also have an amazing new song coming out pretty soon that I heard this woman named Maria. Woman named Maria Gentili sang on.
It's such a beautiful song. What an honor that was for me.
So Lynn and I wrote a song. Lynn and I wrote a song, and we thought it was perfect for Maria, so Maria recorded it. It'll be
what an honor. But you have 3 songs. You have There's Always a Reveal.
We have Reveal. We have Get Ready for Takeoff.
I love it.
More Time, Work in Progress.
Yep.
And pretty soon we'll be coming out. I'm coming out with a solo single that Lynn wrote with me. That was our first baby.
I love it. I love it.
We have the song that Maria sang on, and then we also have we have a couple other we have a country song in the cooker, and the reason why we have a song called Unicorn Limbo that's being
that's why Lynn said unicorns are so in style.
Yeah. It's funny since we worked on that song, I've been seeing unicorns everywhere. It's crazy.
Just Get Ready for Takeoff. There it is. I love it.
That's
so go to Spotify, type in Lynn Portis, right?
Yeah, and you'll find them all.
And I am not kidding. This should be.
Dimension, follow me to outer space. We have an alliance with defiance. We conspire with desire. Get ready for takeoff.
Oh my God, I love it. And so Chauncey, you write lyrics and then you call Lynn, and you guys.
I literally send them to her, and within 5 minutes, there's a song.
She said, "That's why I call her crazy. Lynn Portis Genius."
Lynn Portis Genius.
Amazing.
And then also,
go ahead.
We're just about to release a song with one of your coworkers on Wednesdays, Sarah Glassman.
Yep, you guys. It's wonderful.
Her and I created our group is called the Prom Dates. Because if I went to high school with her, I probably would have asked her to the prom, or she wouldn't have found anyone to go to the prom with, and she would have taken the gay guy. So
listen, that's what we did back then. I mean, go ahead.
I went to 4 proms, and 3 of them with girls who didn't know who to pick, so they picked the gay guy.
Right? Yes, that's how we did it back then. I went to my junior prom. I went with a straight guy. I didn't want to be there, but my dad said to me, "Why don't you go with Mario next year? He's like you." That's what he said. He's like you. that was my dad's way of saying, like, just you're both gay, go to the prom together. And that's what I did. And then my friend Jean, who was straight, she was an ally, but she went with our other gay friend, Nick Turco. So the four of us went and had a ball. It was like,
That
that's
Nick
what you
Turco.
do. That Nick Turco.
That Nick Turco is a little light in the loafers, right?
What? That's how they used to say it back then, light in the loafers. He was
Did
an
he
amazing
drink
singer,
tea?
though.
Did he
drink
go to
tea?
tea parties?
He might have. He
Yeah,
was
friend of
That was ours in the 80s.
Definitely.
Do
Oh,
you
did
go
he
to
drink
tea
tea?
parties?
Oh,
That was
light
our
in the
high school. That's
loafers
how we
was the
knew.
one, yeah. Like that's what they used to say. Oh my God,
We used to, me and one of my bosses at the store I worked at in my hometown, we used to go, do you think he works for Hershey?
we used to say, I think we go to the same church.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
That's why
Oh,
so me and Sarah's song is called Side by Side. It's coming out soon. We performed it at the Rise Up in Unity cabaret
yesterday,
on Sunday.
I
We
couldn't
raised
go.
the
I had the thing in New Jersey. I wanted to go.
it
I'm
was
sure
fun.
it was great.
You can't go to everything. You can't.
No, I know, but I wish I could go to everything, because I know how fun that. I saw the pictures and stuff. But I went to a really cute recital in Union City, New Jersey. It
sounds
was
amazing.
It was wonderful. It was a dance company's recital, and the
Cool.
kids were unbelievable, just incredibly talented. So, and the arts, I mean, I got emotional watching it. I'm like, the arts are so important for kids. Like Leo, what you do and like what we all do, we have to keep doing it. All right. So, Ruby,
especially in LA right now.
Oh,
Gotta keep it going.
Gotta keep it going. Listen, I'm just praying really hard that everything subsides. You know, I don't want to get into that, but you're in California, you know. It was a ridiculous escalation for nothing, and now it's a full-on blowout. But
you know, the silly thing is that the brown people that they've been trying to get rid of have been here before the states even became the state. We ain't going nowhere.
Good, honey.
Let's all be happy.
All right, so we want to shout out to Ruby Rims who joined us tonight. We're about to end our program, but Ruby, just follow Ruby Rims on Facebook. She does so many things. She has something coming up this June 22nd, Blessing of the Drag Artists, and then there is something going on the 29th. Legends, right, and also the Legends of Drag, right, but also that book. Go and check out that book, The Legends of Drag, and it's an amazing book. And what she was telling us before the show started was that the book was put together by a photographer. And also the other gentleman is a florist. So everything has flowers, beautiful flower themes in it as well. So it's just a great coffee table book. And also these are legends. And the way Ruby put it is drag queens of a certain age. So which means they were trailblazers. They did it way before it was cool. Way before there was RuPaul's Drag Race, when it was actually almost dangerous. Yeah. And so, listen, if you're not gay and you don't fall under the umbrella, but you're one of our straight friends and you're our ally, thank you so much for looking out for us and being such a great person. Chauncey, what do you want to leave everybody with?
I don't know. I just think that I say this often, but like if there's something that you want to do that's gonna, that's gonna feed your soul, like do it. Stop waiting. Like you can't wait. Like we all do a million different things because I'm addicted to just doing things, addicted to the feeling of completing an event, completing a song, completing a poem. Like there's nothing like that. Like you said, the arts are so important. And as an artist or as a, creative person, it's addictive. It's an addiction. It's like you just want to make more and you want to lead by example so that you can do this too. Don't wait, finish it, start it, finish it, start it, just get it in motion.
Yep. And also John Pietera just wrote June 14th, which I believe is a Saturday.
That's the No Kings protest. If you go to nokings.org, you'll find out all the information.
Okay, nokings.org. It's a very important thing.
But if you're in New Jersey, I'll be hosting one of the stages at Montclair Pride, so that's why I can't go to the No Kings protest.
So Montclair Pride, talk quickly. I know we're going over, but
this Saturday from 12 to 6, it's right near the Montclair, New Jersey Transit train station. There's going to be 3 stages. I'm hosting the open stage. There's tons of performances, everything going on. I'm going to be doing a little Stonewall history tour talk a couple times throughout the day.
I love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
that's what's interesting. This Pride, like I usually DJ everywhere. This Pride, I'm doing all these funky different things. It's been kind of fun, you know.
I know you're so busy, and I love it. And this Monday, Watch What Happens Live. Chauncey is going to be on. Okay, so we love everybody. What?
Can we also congratulations to all those Tony winners and Tony winners and
Amazing.
Cynthia Erivo? Great job.
I got her. It's up there. Oh wait, hold on. I ordered her CD a couple weeks ago. It just came out. Just got delivered today. It's beautiful. It's called "I Forgive You," and there's a ton of songs, and every single song is beautiful. So I highly recommend this.
The show on it, is that one of her songs?
I believe so. Yes, she produced the Tony Awards.
She produced. It was good.
I saw it at the end. And our friend Chris Dilly, who's been on our show, he's with Broadway Inspirational Voices, and so he was on there. Wow. If you watch it again, you'll see him. Okay, we got to go, but we are so happy that you stopped by. You can see this show and repeat on my page or on YouTube. Leo runs all that. And also it's in podcast, every single platform. Go to what'sthestorywithmaria.com, and that Leo puts all that together, and you can follow
Superhero
us.
Leo.
He really is. He really is. We love him. And also a shout out to
the
Liberal Conservative, which is Judy's new podcast. It's political but mostly historic. It's a history lesson. Follow it on Spotify or any of your. She's a 3rd episode coming out.
What is her podcast called again?
The Liberal Conservative. It's so good, you're gonna freak out, Chauncey.
And I know that the episode was. I think I heard it was posted at midnight, so it's already up.
And Leo produces that, so it's amazing. Leo puts it all together. Yeah, Leo is she said to me, Leo's my producer. I said, are you trying to steal Leo? I said, we're gonna have to share Leo. She's very proud of that. But anyway,
can I get any men out there to fight over me, please?
You're very busy. That's the problem. You're very busy. If you come to New York, you'll see. But I know your kids need you out there. All right, we love you guys. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Stay strong. And let me hit the button. Yay!